The crowd at the Madrid Open expected a routine second-round match, something steady, predictable, professional. They didn't get that because when Elise Mertens walked onto the clay, she brought with her a decade and a half of experience, every pattern memorized, every situation rehearsed, every inch of the court mapped out of her mind. She is the kind of player who doesn't need noise to dominate a match. She builds it quietly, point by point, until control becomes inevitable. But across the net stood a completely different kind of force, not polished in the same way, not predictable, not contained. Eala, a rising presence in the game, a left-hander with natural variation, a player still shaping her identity at the highest level but already dangerous enough to disrupt it. And from the very first rally, you could feel the tension between those two worlds. The match didn't open with quick points or nervous exchanges, it opened with weight. Rallies, stretched shots kicked up off the clay. Both players were pulled wide, forced deep, dragged into corners where recovery becomes as important as the strike itself. This is where Mertens usually thrives. She absorbs pace like it's nothing, redirects with precision, keeps the ball deep, low, and uncomfortable. She doesn't rush, she doesn't gamble. She waits for the one ball that drops just a little short, just a little soft, and then she takes control. It's methodical, almost clinical. But Eala didn't step into that rhythm quietly. She challenged it immediately. Instead of rolling neutral balls, she drove through them with intent. Instead of accepting long rallies, she tried to shorten them. Instead of waiting for mistakes, she tried to force outcomes. Her left-hand patterns added another layer, angles opening up cross-court, pulling Mertens off balance, creating space that most players don't naturally see or use as effectively. For a few moments, it worked. You could feel the disruption in the air. The rhythm wasn't clean. The exchanges weren't settling into Mertens' usual patterns. The rallies had an edge to them, an unpredictability that made the opening games feel alive, because Eala wasn't playing to stay in points, she was playing to take them, and that's what made the start of this match so compelling. It wasn't just a clash of players, it was a clash of philosophies. Mertens building points like a strategist, layer by layer, shot by shot, always thinking 2 steps ahead. Eala striking like a disruptor, looking for early control, early damage, early advantage. One approach is built on patience, the other on pressure. One waits for the moment, the other tries to create it for the crowd. It created something electric. Every extended rally felt like a question being asked: would Mertens outlast the aggression, or would Eala break through it? Every forehand from Eala carried intent, every reply from Mertens carried control. And in those opening exchanges, it genuinely felt like the match could tilt either way, because when a rising player brings that level of belief and intensity onto the court, it doesn't matter how experienced the opponent is. There is always a window where momentum can swing, a window where energy can override structure, a window where something unexpected can happen. That's what made the beginning of this match so gripping. Not the score, not yet, but the possibility, the sense that something different might unfold, that this wouldn't just be another routine win built on experience, that maybe, just maybe, the storm on the other side of the net could rewrite the script. And for those first few games, it felt like it might. Heavy topspin forehands, sharp biting cross-court angles, and that unmistakable sense of fearlessness that makes you lean forward in your seat before you even realize it. From the baseline, Eala wasn't just trading balls, she was probing, testing space, looking for openings, playing with the kind of intent that says, I'm not here to react, I'm here to shape this match. Then came the first real shift, not on the scoreboard, in positioning. Eala stepped inside the baseline. She started taking the ball earlier, robbing her opponent of time, flattening out trajectories, just enough to change the rhythm of the rally. What had been controlled exchanges suddenly felt rushed, slightly uncomfortable, just off balance. And against most players, that's the moment things spiral, because when Eala finds timing on clay, it's not passive, it's not reactive. She doesn't just hit through the court, she dictates it. But this is where Elise Mertens quietly reasserted control, and did it in a way that doesn't always show up in highlight reels. No panic, no visible adjustment, no urgency, just small, precise changes. She added a little more height, a little more depth, a little more margin, and most importantly, she extended the rallies, one extra ball, then another, then another. That's where matches like this turn, because aggression requires timing, and timing under pressure is fragile. Slowly, almost invisibly, the errors started to appear on Eala's side. A forehand just long, a backhand slightly mistimed, a ball that minutes earlier would have been clean, it now landed inches outside the line, not because the intent changed, but because the conditions of the rally did. And just like that, the match transformed into something deeper, not just a contest of shots, but a contest of identities, consistency versus aggression, patience versus power, structure versus instinct, experience versus fearless youth. Neither player backed down. Eala kept stepping and kept looking to take control, kept playing with conviction. Mertens kept absorbing, redirecting, and stretching the rallies just long enough to tip the balance. The crowd felt it building. Every rally carried more weight, every point drew more reaction. Every exchange felt like it could tilt the match in either direction, because this wasn't just about advancing in the Madrid Open draw. This was about something bigger for Mertens. It was about reaffirming her place, showing that experience, discipline, and clarity still set the standard for Eala. It was about something just as important, proving she belongs in these moments on these courts against players who have already built their careers at this level. And in matches like this, you start to see more than just the present. You see direction, you see where the game is now and where it's going, because even beyond the scoreline, even beyond the outcome, there are moments that signal a shift, moments where a player stops looking like a prospect and starts looking like a problem. That's what this felt like. Not a finished story, not a final statement, but a clear signal, because whether she wins these matches today or not, Eala is already forcing conversations. She's asking questions of opponents. She's disrupting patterns. She's pushing players out of their comfort zones. And on a tour as deep and competitive as the WTA, that matters a lot. So no, this wasn't just Madrid. It wasn't just another match on clay. It was a glimpse of tension, of growth, of what happens when rising ambition collides with established control. And if you were paying attention, it didn't feel like an ending, it felt like a warning.